Hello, great people. Hello, great people. Nah, that don't sound right. How you doing, people? That don't sound right either. What is the? That don't sound right. I'm trying to find the right words to introduce. Can't quite seem to find the right words. So I guess I'll just say, buckle up, put your kids to bed. It's about to get ugly. Okay, it's about to get ugly. It's about to start to, you know, some chairs are gonna be thrown. Some FUs are gonna be thrown. You know, some STFUs gonna be thrown out there too. But nonetheless, why am I doing this? Why am I speaking on this? Well, this is a narrative that I want to highlight. I think it deserves to be highlighted. Okay? And I want to start with the two numbers up top. Can everybody see the two numbers up top? I think everybody can kind of see the two numbers up top. So, the reason why man Mike wants to talk about this, because this is this, again, we talk about the stats, the facts, the stats, and the truth. I don't give a fuck about what your opinion is when it comes down to this Atlanta Falcons team. Nobody gives a fuck about what your opinion is or what the players should be, the coaches should be, the owners should be. Nobody gives a fuck. My duty, our duty as creators, journalists, analysts, is to give people the absolute truth about shit. Again, I don't give a fuck about your opinions, okay? The Falcons don't give a fuck about your opinions. So neither do I. So this has to be talked about and this has to be brought up. So again, I want to focus on the two numbers up top, okay? Because obviously, you know, I've heard on several occasions. Again, if you guys check me out on Twitter, Matt Mike Sports, Instagram, Matt Mike Sports. Hell, you can find me on TikTok, Real Matt Mike Sports. Again, you can find me there. I'm everywhere. Just put in Matt Mike Sports. You'll be able to find me anywhere. But I wanna talk about the idea. Okay, once I was told earlier today, and I've been hearing the same. I've been hearing the same excuse, the same words, that there's been absolutely no progression when it comes down to Arthur Smith. That the passing game hasn't improved, and according to, you know, other teams and how they build their teams, the Falcons are incredibly, they're behind. I'll just say that. They're behind when it comes down to the passing game, the offense, how we score, all this. So apparently the Falcons are behind everybody. So I wanted to kind of bring to light some facts and some stats and a little bit of truth. So what is that truth, you say? What's up, Tony? But what is that truth? Anybody see those numbers up top? It says 22-19, 708 equals 29-17. Anybody know what that is? Anybody know what those numbers are? Take a wild guess, you guys. Let's take a wild guess of what those numbers are. I just want everybody to take a wild guess of what those numbers are. Just want you guys, again, I want you guys to take a wild guess of what those numbers are. Because it's really interesting what I'm about to say next. Yeah, I'm going to give you a second to kind of figure out what those numbers mean. Because, again, there's a narrative going around that Arthur Smith is not making positive progressions as a coach. And again, I'm into debunking narratives, okay? That's what we do best. I'm gonna prove you that you're wrong. Okay? Like I said, I'm here to prove to all you guys that you're absolutely wrong when it comes down to Arthur Smith and the positive progressions. He's not making any positive progressions. Wallace was good. Tony, Juan, Prince Gale, all you guys. Again, I'm here to tell you guys where you're wrong. So, what do these numbers mean up top? 2219 and 2219, which is come out to 2219 708, which comes out to 2917, and then 658 2242. Anybody want to take it again? Want to take a wild guess? Yasuke, Kiara, happy birthday to both of you. Happy birthday to you. That was my Frank Sinatra version of happy birthday. That's the best I could do. Give me a break. I ain't Miss Maggie. Happy birthday to you. All right, that's my Frank Sinatra. All right, so happy birthday to you again. But this is what I mean by narrative driven. See, this is why people don't want to sit down and talk to us, because we can debunk they fuck shit in a matter of minutes, a matter of even days. See, I'm about to debunk your fuck shit. Anybody that has anything negative to say about Arthur Smith and his offense, I'm about to debunk your fuck shit, okay? I'm about to debunk your fuck shit, because that's what it is. Anybody that says that Arthur Smith isn't making positive aggressions need to look around the league and look at the numbers, okay? Because you're full of shit if you say that. Let me say this again. I'm gonna say it louder. Anybody that says that Arthur Smith isn't making positive progressions, isn't improving as a coach, as a play caller, as an offensive coordinator, you are full of capital SHIT. I would say it to your mama face. I say it to your granny face. I say it to your face, your kid face. You are full of shit. Okay? The reason why I say this, because the next number I'm gonna give you, 2242 658 equals 2,900 yards. Anybody want to take a wild guess what those numbers are up top? I just want you guys to kind of, again, anybody want to take a wild guess of what those numbers up top mean? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. But again, those numbers up top mean something. Ah, there you go, Vaughn. Offensive passing yards. So these two teams pretty much are identical as far as I'm concerned, especially when you look at how both of these teams kind of go about. No, it's passing yards. Yeah, it's passing yards. So they are indeed passing yards. So the reason why I thought it was very important is because one of these teams did not make the playoffs and the other did. All right, didn't. Both of these teams did not make the playoffs, but one of these quarterbacks ended up getting a massive contract. Anybody want to take a wild guess of who these two teams are? Anybody want to take a wild guess of who these two teams are? Yeah, like I said, they are indeed passing yards. So one of these teams had more wins, but again, it's damn near identical when it comes down to passing yards. Baltimore and Atlanta. Good again, Warren. See, you're so smart. That's why I love you on AFN. That's why I love to have smart people on AFN. Yeah, they are the Atlanta Falcons and the Baltimore Ravens. Yeah. But why would I pick out this stat? Well, one team of the bunch had 7 wins. And one of those offensive coordinators have been on the quote-unquote hot seat. Arthur Smith is that coach. So if Arthur Smith is on a team that passed for more yards than a team that won 10 games in a season, so again, Arthur Smith is one of those coaches' job isn't on the line for having less passing yards in a season and one guy has less passing yards than a guy that's on the hot seat. So I thought it was quite interesting what we're talking about. So let me say this again. This is about the facts, the stats, and the truth. The Falcons passed for more. Did you guys know that the Falcons passed for more yards than the Baltimore Ravens? Did you guys know that? Would you have guessed that the Falcons passed for more yards than the Baltimore Ravens? The Baltimore Ravens, who were 10-7 last season. Well, you guys would have ever dated. Like, let's be honest. This is a real question. Would you guys would have guessed that the Falcons passed for more passing yards than the Baltimore Ravens? Yeah, the Falcons passed for more passing yards around the same as the Baltimore Ravens. Yeah, it was almost damn near identical when it came down to the Baltimore Ravens and the Atlanta Falcons. But this is what I mean by people just saying shit just to be saying shit. Nobody would say John Harbaugh is on the hot seat, especially when their team goes 10-7. They had one of the best rushing attacks in the league. Got one of the most explosive weapons on offense. A great defense. But their passing leaves a lot to be desired. Their passing game pretty much sucks, okay? Let's just keep that real. Their passing game sucks. And they have weapons. Their weapons won't hurt, okay? Their quarterback, but their receivers, their tight ends, no, these guys weren't hurt. These guys weren't hurt. Were not hurt. These guys played. The Atlanta Falcons were subjected to a rookie. We're talking about a rookie wide receiver as their number one. And that number one guy was Drake London. Did a terrific job. 72 catches, about almost 900. I believe it was 900. But he did a great job as a rookie catching passes. So when I tell you guys, it's like, this is what we mean about just state what's on your mind and stop bullshitting. Like, just say you don't fucking like Arthur Smith. Just say you don't like the offense. Just say you don't like Desmond. Just say you don't like Desmond Ritter. Just say it. Because this is where the numbers kick you swiftly in the ass. This is when we turn that size 16, turn it sideways and stick it straight up your candy ass. It's because of shit like this. Yeah, we stick it straight up your candy ass because we deal with facts and stats and the truth. I don't deal with your opinions. I don't give a fuck if you never heard of Desmond Ritter. I don't give a fuck if you don't watch Desmond Ritter. I don't give a fuck if you think he sucks. I don't give a flying fuck. Show me the proof. I want to know the proof. I want to know the truth. And a lot of people are saying in here, these are two quarterbacks. Okay, I'm gonna go through the other numbers so you guys can kind of see that for yourselves. So the Atlanta Falcons not only passed for more passing yards than the Baltimore Ravens, and everybody worshiped Lamar Jackson, but he's barely throwing for more yards than the Atlanta Falcons. Y'all say that Desmond Ritter and Arthur Smith don't know nothing about the passing game. Yeah, this is what y'all said. Y'all said that Arthur Smith and Desmond Ritter don't know what the fuck they be talking about. Don't know what the hell they doing. They suck. He needs to be fired. So what about the San Francisco 49ers? I mean, they doing the exact same thing the Falcons doing. We see the Tennessee Titans barely throwing for 3,500 yards. So what about them? See, this is what I mean when we talk about facts, stats, and the absolute truth. I don't give a fuck about what your opinions are. You think the Atlanta Falcons passing game sucks. You think that Arthur Smith is a bad play caller. I don't give a fuck what you think. We're doing the facts, the stats, and the truth. And we're going to get a little bit of number. The next number, about 8 yards per pass. The Atlanta Falcons were 11th, right? They were 16th, excuse me. They were 16th with 7.1 yards per pass. Do you know that 49ers were number one in the entire league when it comes down to yards per pass? Yeah, they were number one in yards per pass with 8 yards per pass. I'm going to tell you why this is significant. The Atlanta Falcons was 7.1 yards per pass. 16th in the league. That's literally less than a yard than what the 49ers, who were number one in the league with yards per pass. So less than a yard away from the number one team. And we still talking about Arthur Smith is overrated. But this is significant. Why? Because this puts a major highlight on a particular stat and a player. Okay? It puts a stat on a particular player and players with the Atlanta Falcons. But what is said stat? Anybody want to take a guess what that stat is? They put a highlight on that stat. That particular stat, I'll give it to you real quick. Just give it to you. That stat is yards after catch. So the Atlanta Falcons with yards per completion is about 10.5. So with a 7.1 per pass, it's about 7.1. So that's about 3 to 4 yards after the Falcons catch the ball. So that's 10.5. That's how if you get players that can get yards after catch, the yards go up. This is why we say that a lot of those deep passes are pretty much a stat that's like, all right, it's a little bit overrated. I mean, I know you want to have, big plays and throw the ball for 30, 40, 50 yards down the field, but you don't necessarily need that. It wasn't the Kansas City Chiefs. It wasn't the Miami Dolphins. It wasn't any of those teams. The number one team in yard per pass was the San Francisco 49ers. Yeah. Did that shock you? Did that shock you guys? That again, this is what I'm talking about. This is why you gotta put your paper down. You gotta get away from Twitter. You gotta get away from ESPN, and then look at these stats for yourself, because they're right there for you. These stats are right here for you. All you gotta do is look, and you'll see where the Atlanta Falcons are. You see why the Atlanta Falcons struggle in the passing game. So it puts a tremendous bullseye on one particular guy that we drafted with the number 8 pick. Anybody want to take a guess who that guy is? What that number 1 pick? Yeah, that number 1 guy who got the permission of said Michael Vick, Young Waku, to wear that number 7. There you go. To wear that number 7. This is why the Atlanta Falcons wanted guys that were able to catch the ball and do something with it. Because they wanted to highlight yards after the catch, run after catch. They wanted to highlight, because the Falcons have no issue when it comes down to passing the ball and getting yardage. Their issues is making something happen after they've caught the ball. So this is why drafting the Bijan Robinson, having him and his ability to catch the ball out of the backfield, having a CP, again, another one of those guys who can catch the ball out of the backfield, take a slant to the house, a Kyle Pitts, another one of those guys who's great with yards after the catch. This is why this is important. And this is why you got teams like the Kansas City Chiefs, because Kansas City Chiefs, they're not the number 1. Again, they are not the number 1 team when it comes down to yards per pass. It's the 49ers. Nobody would have guessed that it was the 49ers with yards per pass. Yeah, the Niners are number 1 with 8. So essentially what that means is that almost every time they pass, they get about 8 yards. They average about 8 yards every single play. So that what that essentially means, most of the guys they got, for one, they got room to make those completions, to make those throws. So the Atlanta Falcons, with their running game, it continues to improve. You got guys that can get yards after the catch. The passing yards is going to go up. So this is the reason why this is why Arthur Smith isn't worried about the passing game. You as a fan are worried about the passing game, because what the West Coast system does is to get the ball out of hand and let the playmakers do what playmakers do. If you look at a lot of stuff in college, you look at what the Philadelphia Eagles did this year. It was run pass option. Most of their yards came via running after the catch. And the Niners do call a lot of screens and quick plays, get the ball out of hand. But this is exactly what we're talking about when we're saying that you don't have to have a quarterback and throw the ball 20, 50 yards. If he can just get the ball out of his hand quick into the playmaker's hand, we got it. We don't need Desmond Ritter to be, a Hall of Fame quarterback. Kinfolk, what's good? But this is the reason why we're saying, I'm bringing up these numbers, because everybody's saying that Arthur Smith is a bad play caller. There's no proof to what he's saying. The Falcons are, again, third down touchdowns per game, almost 2 touchdowns a game in the red zone. That's 13th in the league. The Kansas City Chiefs are number 1. I think they're like 3.2 touchdowns a game when they get in the red zone. So they are an efficient offense. When they get the opportunity to get in the red zone, they score touchdowns. They don't get field goals. But the Atlanta Falcons are almost, again, 2 touchdowns a game at 1.8. That's 13th in the league. There's only 12 teams in the NFL that have a better red zone touchdown efficiency than the Atlanta Falcons. And we're talking about Arthur Smith need to be fired. With the offensive weapons that we did not have, including Kyle Pitts, the Falcons, the lack of weapons is a miracle that they even got. They in the top half of the league when it comes down to touchdown efficiency. So not only are they an efficient offense when they get in the red zone, they score touchdowns. Now this is a number that is a little bit tricky, but the sacks per game is about 2.2. But this is where the difference is, and you can tell the quality of quarterback when it comes down to this next stat. Got at the bottom, right here, right at the bottom. Desmond Ritter's sack percentage dropped to 5.32% from 8.9. 8.19 with Marcus Mariota. So the sack percentage dropped when Desmond Ritter got into the starting lineup. Let me say that again. The sack percentage dropped under Desmond Ritter. How could that be? How could it be that the Atlanta Falcons sack percentage dropped under Desmond Ritter, but this is the second banger. The Falcons pass attempts went up. Yeah. The Falcons pass attempts went up, almost 30 a game under Desmond Ritter. and the sack percentage went down. So what did that tell you guys? When you see the sack percentages go down, and Falcons still had one of the lowest sacks per game in the league at 2.2, which is 11th in the league. So not only did the offensive line perform well with Mariota, but they performed even better with Desmond Ridder in at quarterback. The pass attempts went from 24 games to 29, almost 30. About 30 pass attempts per game. So not only are the Falcons are a much more efficient offense, but they're passing the ball more. They're passing the ball more. And they trusting the team more. Still getting those rushing yards. And on top of that, the Atlanta Falcons were, a top 3. They were number 1 in rushing attempts and a top 3. I think they was 3rd. I think they may have been 2nd. But I think they were 3rd in rushing yards. So not only are they a more efficient passing offense with Desmond Ridder at the helm, but they didn't leave much of anything when it came down to running the damn ball. They became a well-balanced machine when it came down to Desmond Ridder being in that quarterback. So this is the reason why these fucking clowns have nothing. Okay? Not only did the passing attempts improve, but the passing rating, passing, completion percentage, all that got better. All of that got better for Desmond Ridder. And this is why I challenge anybody. I challenge anybody who says that Desmond Ridder has an issue with accuracy. I challenge anybody to prove to me that Desmond Ridder has an issue with accuracy. Because the numbers don't say that. You can throw the roster in there too. Who the hell? This is another thing that I got. This is. Let me just prepare. Let me go off real quick. This is why I say you're a stupid fuck. That anybody that says Arthur Smith deserves to be fired. This is the shit that I do. I have to read off the Falcons depth chart for 2021 and 2022 with our wide receiver. Do we really have to read that shit off? Olamide Zaccheaus. Okay, Brian Edwards, who couldn't catch a goddamn water balloon. If it's 1 feet in front of him, he couldn't catch a goddamn water balloon. But you want Arthur Smith to call more passing yards. Olamide Zaccheaus, okay, was one of our top wide receivers, and you want him to keep throwing the damn ball to Olamide Zaccheaus. Demir Bird, he's fast as hell, but he got questionable hands. Cordero Hodge, again, questionable hands. Michael Pruitt. Do I really have to keep going on? This is what made me want to throat punch a motherfucker in the face for saying shit like this. The Falcons passing game under Arthur Smith fucking sucks. Well, look what the fuck he got. Look what the hell he has at wide receiver and tight end, and you trying to tell me with a straight face that this guy deserves to be fired because he has bullshit at quarterback, at wide receiver. You motherfuckers wouldn't even draft these guys on Madden, but you want him to be, you want him to throw the damn ball more to Olamide Zaccheaus. You want him to throw the ball more to Michael Pruitt. You want him to throw the damn ball more to Demir Bird and Cordero Hodge. You guys wouldn't even draft these guys in a damn fantasy league, but somehow Arthur Smith is supposed to make shit out of fucking sugar. Sugar out of shit. Excuse me. This is what makes me want to throw punch the heck out of all these people who say that Arthur Smith should be on the freaking hot seat. And he should do it in 1 freaking year. This guy should be able to make, you give him 1 year after he's had an NFL record. Again, he's had an NFL record. That means no team, 31 other teams did not do or did not have to deal with what the Falcons have did with the last two, this last past season. An NFL record of $65 million in dead cap. And somehow this guy still found a way to get 7 wins. When they had the Falcons winning 2. But somehow he's supposed to make something out of nothing with Zacchaeus, Cordero Hodge, Demir Bird, and Michael motherfucking Pruitt at wide receiver and tight end. This is what makes me want to throat punch anybody. And I dare anybody. I dare anybody, any content creator, any analyst to come in here and prove to me that Arthur Smith did a horrible job with this team. I dare you to come in. I will give you $50 if you turn around and show me that the Falcons could have done so much better with this offense. If you can prove to me that Arthur Smith should have had at least a Pro Bowler with this wide receiver and tight end crew, yeah, show me. I dare you. That's a triple dog dare you, okay? I put 50 on it. That you can come and tell me and show me that a team like the Atlanta Falcons with that roster, that they should have been in the playoffs. That they should have been a top 15 passing offense. I dare you to prove that too. Again, with Cordero Hodge, Demir Bird, Demir Bird, Olamide Zacchaeus, Michael Pruitt. Like, come on, bro. Let's be real. This is where, and like I said, these are people that I respect. These are people that I respect with these takes. And it's all because you just don't fucking like them and you don't believe them. I don't give a shit. Prove to me that Arthur is a bad offensive coordinator. Prove to me that he's a bad head coach. Frank Darby, Parker, Hesse, Ferkser. I just want you guys to prove to me that Arthur Smith deserves to be fired. That he deserves all of the quote-unquote heat that he's getting for not being explosive in the passing game. Again, who the fuck is going to pass the ball more to Anthony Ferkser, to Michael Pruitt, Cordero Hodge, Demir Bird, Olamide Zacchaeus? None of these guys were big-time receivers in college, but somehow, with a magic fucking wand, Arthur Smith is supposed to make these guys better than what they are. Because you are impatient. Thank you, Drew. Because you are impatient, you just want to make up some bullshit and say that our head coach deserves, he only need 1 year to prove that he's the real deal or he got to get fired. Like, get the fuck out of here with this stupid ass shit. This man, Bill Belichick, is supposed to be the greatest of all time, but this man probably he gonna be on his 3rd fucking quarterback in 2 years. Okay, let me say this again. He gonna be on his 3rd fucking quarterback in 2 years if these guys don't pan out. Mac Jones and I forget the other kid, but he about to be on his 3rd and 4th. He about to be on his third quarterback if his quarterback don't. This man is dealing with 2 quarterbacks right now, under 500, but he's labeled a fucking guru. Nobody's saying fire Bill Belichick. Oh yeah. He got 6 championships, 6 championships. But he can't make shit out of sugar. Like, come on, bro. This man can't make sugar out of shit, but you expect Arthur Smith to do the exact same thing that y'all asking that Bill Belichick can't do. See, again, this is where people always lose me, and this is why they never want to talk to us. This is why we send out invitations to a lot of people, and nobody wants to talk to, because they do not want to answer to the bullshit that they continue to spread. Warden Sharp tweeted we were 15 and 17 in games with we had. Bailey Zappi, and I like Bailey Zappi, but like, you can't turn a quarterback to something that he's not. He got to work for that. He's got to go through the process. Again, I always take it right back to Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. This is shit people want the Falcons to make a shit sandwich taste like ham sandwich. They want the shit sandwich to taste like a whole goddamn sub sandwich. Yeah, you want us to do it, but the Green Bay, the Falcons couldn't do it with Brett Favre. So guess what? They ended up trading him away. And it took him about 2-3 years to find out who he was and where his strengths were. But somehow, Arthur Smith was supposed to do it in 2 years. Really, 1 year. He's supposed to do it in 1 year with Desmond Ridder. Y'all giving him 1 year to say, all right, I want to see what Desmond Ridder is. If he don't, both of them need to be gone. Y'all want to do this within 1 fucking year as a quarterback, as a coach. Y'all want him to do this in 1 freaking year as a quarterback. Get him 1 year to prove that he can turn a team into a playoff team in 1 fucking year. And this is the first time that he's had salary cap to even build a freaking team. Bill Belichick is like in year 3 without Tom Brady. He still hasn't turned the team into a championship team. But somehow we supposed to do it. No one said Arthur was a horrible play caller when he was in Tennessee, but as soon as he becomes Falcons, he's the worst. Yeah, he's at the bottom. Again, this motherfucker gave up. Yeah, they gave up on Tom Brady. And the only reason why Tom Brady even had a lot of those yards because they kissing his ass for damn the whole freaking season. Keep that real. Tom Brady had a whole separate set of rules than everybody in the league. You couldn't pinch this boy's nipple without them damn crying and blowing fucking whistles and shit. But somehow, Arthur Smith is supposed to make something great out of Olamide Zaccheaus, Cordero Hodge, Demir Bird. Come on, people. I see y'all fantasy football teams. Y'all show it to me every year. I see y'all mock drafts. And y'all mock drafts be loaded. Y'all don't have a bunch of fucking trash on y'all mock drafts. So why the fuck would you think he's supposed to do something good with a whack-ass mock draft? With a whack-ass team and a whack-ass roster? Like, these are the things that I'm talking about. We got the GOAT at Bill Belichick, are considered to be the greatest of all time. He can't do it, but somehow Arthur Smith was supposed to do it. Oh yeah, oh no problem, Wolf. But these are the things that I'm talking about. You see Seattle right now, Seattle done gave up on Russ. They sent his ass to Denver. This is like year 4 without the Legion, it's like year 4 or 5 without the Legion of Boom, and we still up here talking about Arthur Smith needs to get it right now. He needs to get it right fast, quick, and hurt. The Seattle Seahawks are still trying to rebuild that team and make it a championship team in like year 4 or 5 without that Legion of Boom. Yet Arthur Smith is supposed to do it in 2 years. This is literally the first year where he's had an opportunity to bring in quality players, but he's supposed to do it now. And I understand it. Again, I've said this plenty of times. No fan wants to sit and watch their team lose. So you're going to naturally be saying, all right, man, we need to hurry up and get this shit together. So I understand your need to get together. But again, I don't give a fuck about what my feelings are. Arthur don't give a fuck about what my feelings are. I don't give a fuck about what my feelings are, because your feelings can mislead you. It can help. We've seen this. That our feelings and our wants can lead us down a path of absolute hell. The Falcons should have traded Julio Jones. We should have never given Julio Jones that $60 million at the age of 32. But we did that off good faith. We did that on good faith, and we did that for Julio. Julio turned around and burned us. So that move ended up burning us. But these are the things we talk about. These are the exact things I'm talking about when it comes down to Arthur Smith and this organization. Every other team gets an opportunity to get it right, but somehow the Atlanta Falcons don't have it. You don't think the Cleveland Browns are regretting the fact that they gave Deshaun Watson $250 million guaranteed? Y'all don't think they regretting that shit? Y'all really don't think that they are not regretting the fact that they gave that man that much money? And I'm gonna tell you another team. I just talked about that earlier today. Earlier in this live. Baltimore. They're gonna regret giving Mr. Lamar Jackson all of that money. Yeah, they're gonna regret that. They're going to regret the fact that they gave this guy $40 million, like $200 million, for a guy that can't pass for more than 3,200 yards. When their team is putting up damn near identical numbers than the Atlanta Falcons, but you giving up $200 million? Nah, bruh. Not doing it. But again, these are the things that what I say, and these are absolute truth. These are absolute truths. Oh, like I said, I know, Wolf. This ain't about you. Like I said, I understand where everybody lie, but this is anybody who thinks that they being selfish and they caring about what they personally need. And this ain't about what you. It ain't about what Mike cares about. It ain't about. We got to do this shit the right way. You don't go in your damn house, and when you got freaking bugs and shit flying all over the place, you don't just, all right, I'm gonna spray a little something up and you're not gonna clean the whole shit up. You got bugs and shit flying all over the place in your apartment, but you only gonna focus on one particular aspect. We ain't gonna clean the whole room up. We just gonna clean this one corner up and hopefully this fix the problem. It's goofy as hell for us to say something like that. Let's fix one aspect of the team and say, all right, we're gonna fix. This is gonna get us over the hump if we just focus on this one aspect. This is the exact same shit that happened with Thomas Dimitroff. Thomas Dimitroff only cared about one thing, and that's having an explosive offense. Didn't give a damn about the running game. He didn't give a damn about the offensive line, the defensive line, the secondary, the coaching staff. All he was focused on is getting his offense to put up record numbers, and we did that. But it got us absolutely nowhere. We can have a lineup How many times have we seen teams go out and spend $100, $200 million in the offseason on a defensive line and then turn around, that defensive line end up falling apart? We're seeing it right now with the Washington Commanders. The Washington Commanders spent all their money in draft picks on the defense, but the rest of the offense, the offensive line, all this shit is still up in arms. Like I said, this is a deep issue. It's not necessarily you, Wolf. I'm seeing this all over the place. A lot of people are just so ready to say, all right, I'm tired of losing. Get this shit done right now. And it just doesn't work that way. Nothing, when they talk about championships, everybody always talk about Michael Jordan being 6-0 in the finals, and he was there. But did y'all realize it took Michael Jordan about 6-7 years to even get to the damn playoffs and make a deep run? Yeah, y'all don't want to talk about the pains and the ills and the process to go into creating a champion. You don't want to talk about the years and years. It was about 8 straight years the Kansas City Chiefs got into the playoffs and they failed every single time. Nobody wants to talk about the fact that the Chicago Bears, yeah, they have great defenses, but nobody gives a fuck about that offense. Nobody gives a damn about the front office. The front office has been an absolute nightmare. The offensive line been a nightmare. They suck every year. Nobody want to talk about that. All you want to keep bringing up is the 85 fucking Bears. Nobody want to talk about how the Georgia Bulldogs were in a 20, 30-year slump from 1980 all the way to 2020. That's about a 40-year slump. Nobody want to talk about the slump that the Bulldogs were in and the process they had to go through to get to win championship. Nobody gives a fuck about Alabama. Everybody always want to talk about Alabama. Alabama was in a whole, we talk about Alabama Crimson Tide, the Roll Tide, whatever the fuck they want to call themselves. Nobody wanted to talk about the fact that they went through a whole 20, 30 year slump and drought on being champions. You don't want to talk about that. What it take to get to that point. Finding the right pieces, finding the right coaches, finding the right players, finding the right... Like, we don't want to talk about these things. You just want to say, get this shit done or else. This is why LeBron is he done lost 8 fucking championships. He should at this point in time, LeBron especially, if he would have just stayed where he was instead of running, LeBron would have at least 8 championships if he would have just stayed put. But he got impatient and he just wants what he wants when he wants. And that's why he loses. 76ers, same thing. Do we got to bring up the 76ers? Yeah, they keep changing coaches and changing front office personnel. Keep talking about, yeah, you don't want to talk about that. Y'all don't want to talk about the process what it details to go to be a champion. Nobody want to talk about the Bill Belichick. Nobody cares about Bill Belichick and his failure as a coach prior to becoming a New England Patriots coach. Nobody wanted to talk about, nobody even mentioned, when the last time anybody in the national media bring up the fact that he was a horrible coach in Cleveland. These are the things people never talk about. People never talk about how this guy was such a bad coach. Always had a pretty good defense, but as a coach, yeah, he sucks. He had to learn offensive. He had to learn how to balance his teams because Bill Belichick wasn't that. Anybody want to talk about? Anybody want to talk about the New Orleans Saints? 3 years in a row, these guys went 79, 79, 79. Nobody screamed, "Oh, Sean Payton needs to be fired." '79, 79, 79. Nobody said we need to fire him. Anybody want to take a wild guess what would have happened to Sean Payton if they would have fired him after that 3rd year at 79? Oh, you don't want to talk about that. That makes you uncomfortable. It makes you impatient. Yeah, y'all don't want to talk about what it actually takes to build a champion. You just want to be a champion. Y'all don't want to talk about the Atlanta Braves and it taking damn near a decade to get this shit together to what we're seeing right now. Nobody want to talk about that. Y'all don't want to go through the process where the Atlanta Falcons, where the Atlanta Braves were leading the league in strikeouts year after year after year. Y'all don't want to talk about that, do you? Year after year after year, for like 3 years straight, we had the Upton brothers, and them motherfuckers struck so much with Dan Ugly. We don't want to talk about that. Damn near 200 strikeouts at the top of the lineup. Y'all don't want to talk about the Braves going through their process where they had to move on from Glavine Smokes and Maddox. Y'all don't want to talk about that. Y'all just want to get to the championship without going through the process. There's a hell of a lot of pain when it comes down to being a champion. You got to go through a whole lot of pain before you become a champion. There's a whole lot of pain. Michael Jordan got his ass kicked for 6 straight years before he became a champion. And once he finally get it, you saw the Michael Jordan that dominated like no other player has dominated. But it was a process. He got his ass kicked. He saw, I'm talking about great individual numbers in the beginning of this year. There's never been a player that won Defensive Player of the Year and scoring champ in the same fucking year. Michael Jordan did that. But that shit didn't matter. Why? Because his team sucked like ass. Oh, you don't want to talk about that. That makes y'all uncomfortable. Yeah. People, we live in a society where it's just like instant gratification. I know, yeah, I'm making a lot of people uncomfortable with this. But these are facts. That Braves team was fucking terrible. But guess what? The Braves had a process. They saw the process through. They did not deviate from that process. And now we got Acuna. Now we got a Ozzy. Now we got Matt Olson. Austin Riley. Mike Harris Jr. Like, we got all these guys. Eddie Rosario, all these guys. Sean Murphy. Darno. We got a lineup. One of the best lineups and deepest lineups in the history of baseball. But it was a process. You had to go through a whole lot of fucking pain. We won 18 pennants in a fucking row and only had one championship. One championship from that. So that was a hell of a lot of pain before we got our next championship. That was a long drought before our next championship. So this is the reason why when you talk about, like, bro, I don't look, at the end of the day, do I know for certain that Arthur Smith is going to be that guy? Do I know for sure that Terry Fontenot is that guy? I don't know that. But what I do know, you're not going to win championships continuously to fire everybody and get rid of everybody. The recipe for the Kansas City Chiefs team wasn't the fact that they got rid of all their players. They pretty much kept the same team. They pretty much kept the same team. They brought in Andy Reid. They brought in Andy Reid and all those guys. They had Andy Reid, but they brought in defensive coordinators. They brought in great offensive coordinators. They brought in great front office guys, and they drafted well. But this is the reason. But this is the reason why they are champions right now, two-time champs right now, because they're patient. Had they listened to the fans, they would have never gotten rid of Mr. They would have never gotten rid of the quarterback. Nobody knew that Patrick Mahomes would be Patrick Mahomes except me. I knew it. I told people he was going to be great, but that's a whole nother story. I already knew he was going to be good. He had all the pedigree in college to be a damn good quarterback. But he went to a small school, much like Desmond and Simpson, and nobody gave him a shot. Because he didn't go to Alabama, he didn't go to Georgia, he didn't go to LSU. Nobody really gave him a real shot. Nobody really gave him a real shot, so that's the reason why we're seeing that now. But you gotta have patience, Big Ant. This is the reason why the Dallas Cowboys have been losing for the last 40 years. 30, 40 years. 27 years the Dallas Cowboys have been losing because all they want to do is keep changing everything. They want to keep firing head coaches. They want to keep firing coaches. They want to keep getting rid of and trading players. And that shit never works. Why? Because you're impatient. Instead of just seeing the process through and letting these guys develop the proper way, y'all just want to get rid of them and fire everybody. And then wonder why you don't have chemistry and wonder why players are spoiled. Every time they start crying, the Dallas Cowboys give them a $100 million contract. Every time a player start crying, they want to fire the head coach. They want to fire the defensive coordinator. No patience whatsoever. And Falcons fans, y'all disgust me, to be honest. You're fucking disgusting. Falcons fans are fucking disgusting. Why? Because we have been on the losing side of a lot of things, but we act so fucking spoiled. Why? Because we had Mike Vick and Matt Ryan. So anybody that's not Mike Vick and Matt Ryan, we want to get rid of them, throw them in the trash like we done won championship. Like y'all know what the recipe is. We fucking spoiled. Spoiled freaking rotten. Sometimes Falcons fans disgust me to see how entitled they are to shit. You just want to get rid of everybody as if you know what the fuck you doing. Falcons fans shitted on Matt Ryan for years. For 15 fucking years, y'all shitted on this. 14 years, y'all shitted on this man. Say he was overrated, that MVP don't mean nothing. He ain't Mike Vick. And then we had a Mike Vick, and then you forgot the fact that the Falcons had one of the best rushing games there is under Mike Vick. It's one of the greatest rushing offenses under Mike Vick, and y'all forget how important the rushing game is. This is why I say y'all fucking disgust me. I don't give a fuck who said it. Falcons fans fucking disgust me. You're disgusting. A lot of you fans, not everybody, but some of you motherfuckers are disgusting. Y'all forget how important the running game, how we dominated games with Dunn, Vick, and Duckett. And then try to say that Arthur Smith doing the exact same shit. He dominating. He dominating the running game, building up the defense. The same shit that Michael Vick, we did with Michael Vick now. We did the exact same thing with Michael Vick, but it's not going to work because it's Arthur Smith. Oh, it's not going to work because it's not exciting. We don't have an exciting player. You Falcons fans are fucking, some of you motherfuckers are disgusting. You forget how important the running game was to Mike Vick. You forgot how great of a quarterback Matt Ryan was. You forgot about the pain. You forgot about the suffering. You forgot about poor ownership under Rankin Smith. And granted that a lot of you guys probably have not seen Rankin and Taylor Smith, but you forgot how fucking terrible these guys are. This is why we say time and time again, do your fucking homework. Don't get mad at me because we telling you that you wrong. You are motherfucking wrong. Do your homework and you will be right. We forget how big of how great that offensive line with Keenan Forney, Mud Duck, Bob Whitfield, all these guys. We forgot all how good this offensive line was. Todd Schaefer. Hey, we forgot all about them guys. We forgot how good that the offensive line and a running game is for a quarterback. We forgot 1998 with Jamal Anderson rushed for 1,800 yards. A veteran quarterback with a veteran quarterback that wasn't an elite quarterback at all, and Chris Chandler. Chris Chandler was far from elite, but we still beat one of the greatest offenses that ever was assembled. And we try to act like running the ball is not. Y'all try to act like running the ball is not important. This is literally how we got to both our championships. This is literally how we won both NFC championships, running the damn ball, and then all of a sudden with Arthur Smith, y'all want to say, well, it's not what I want. He sucks. Yeah, he sucks. I'm just saying, people. Just stop me. Just tell me to shut up when I went too far. Like I said, just shut me up when I went too far. Tell me when I went too far. When I've gone too far. So, like I said, these are the things when we talk about and how to truly build a championship and building a foundation. Arthur Smith may not ever win a championship. I doubt it, but he may not. It's a chance that he may not win a championship. But there's also a chance that he can win a championship. If the Cincinnati Bengals can go from worst to first, why the fuck can't we? If we can get lucky enough to have a team, give us Julio Jones or give us Michael Vick, why can't a guy like Arthur Smith win a championship? And then you say shit to me and this crew and people like us that we're being too positive when it comes down to this Falcons team. Why? Because we believe that every team in the NFL has a chance if they build the foundation the proper way. Every team has a chance to win a championship if they build the team the right way. Just saying, people. Again, that offer is still on the table. Any motherfucker who can come in and tell me with stats, facts, and the truth without recycling the same bullshit over and over again, I just want to win. He's a third-round pick. He only won 7 games. If you can show me outside of those 3 bullshit ass excuses as to why you don't want Arthur Smith and as to why you believe that the Falcons can't win, if you can prove to me that Arthur Smith is not a good head coach, I'll give you $50. But I promise you, not one guy can prove to me that Arthur Smith is a bad head coach. Because he's doing the exact same thing that he did in Tennessee, but somehow it's bad for us, but Tennessee doing the same shit, throwing for less than 3,000, 4,000 yards, 3,500 yards with their quarterbacks, rushing for 2,000, but somehow Arthur doing the exact same shit, but he fucking terrible. Baltimore Ravens doing the exact same thing that the Atlanta Falcons are doing, but they are a great team and they're a great organization, but the Atlanta Falcons are a horrible organization. And Arthur Smith is a horrible coach when he's doing the exact same thing that the San Francisco 49ers are doing, Tennessee Titans, Baltimore Ravens, all these teams are doing the exact same thing that the Atlanta Falcons are doing, but somehow Arthur Smith is fucking overrated and he sucks and he deserves to be fired. Why? Because you can't get your damn dick up for half a second. So it's his fucking fault. It's his fault because you can't do your homework, you can't do your history. You can't do a simple fucking Google search. It's his fault because you stupid or you lazy. It's his fault because you lazy and you can't look at the facts and the stats of the truth. And you spew out dumb shit like there's no positive progression when it comes to Arthur Smith. Shut the fuck up. What is a positive progression? Positive progress. Making progress. So if you go 7 and 10 2 times in a row, that's progress. It may not be the progress that you want or you expecting, but you can't tell me going 7 and 10 2 years in a row isn't progress. It just isn't the way that you want it. So like I said before, that offer is still on the table for anybody. If you can prove to me and this crew that Arthur Smith deserves to be fired using the facts, the stats, and the truth, right? So do your homework and you have $53 if you can prove to me that Arthur Smith deserves to be fired. Because I can show you, I can give you at least 2 or 3 other teams. Because I've seen a coach win back-to-back Super Bowls and turn around and get fired. I've seen the head coach win a motherfucking Super Bowl and then turn around and get fired by an owner for making positive strides. Anybody know who that guy is? Anybody know who's a head coach that won a Super Bowl and then turned around and got fired? And they've been cursed ever since. Yep. Them Dallas Cowboys. They won the championship. Fired Jimmy Johnson. Boomer, that's exactly right. The Cowboys fired. Man won a fucking Super Bowl, fired him, and they ain't been right since. So don't give me this bullshit that losing is a quote unquote, because I saw Cincinnati for years under Marvin Lewis. For years under Marvin Lewis, those guys went to playoff, won a ton of games and still kept his job. Let me say that again. I've seen the Cincinnati Bengals put up great numbers, improved every year, have a great offense, great defense, but they lost quite a few times in the playoffs. But he kept his job. Yeah, I've seen that. Look, these are facts. So it has nothing to do with the fact that you guys are, oh yeah, I just want to win. It's the fact that you are impatient, you want your way, and you feel like the way this is how the Atlanta Falcons should be ran. I'm just saying. 7 and 10, cuz 7 and 10 with fucking breadcrumbs. Bro, I'm not drafting no Illumination kids. If I'm doing a franchise on Madden, I'm like, Illumination kids gonna be one of the last guys I pick on my team. I'm being real. If I'm playing Madden, it's a franchise mode and I get to pick, nah. fantasy mode. Like, I'm not picking no damn elimination kids. I'm not picking no goddamn Demir Bird or no damn Cordero Hodges. You lost your cotton picking mind? And that's another thing. This is one of the worst. Like, they have, again, I don't really get too caught up in the schedule, but like, the Falcons still have one of the, like, they playing an easy schedule. The Falcons didn't get blown out by like a couple of games last year. I think it was like Cincinnati. The Falcons got blown out by 2 scores or more. They only did that like 1 or 2 times all season last year. Most of their games were within 1 score games. And then we got these dumbass fans that say, well, Arthur Smith calls us games. How the fuck he gonna call you a game because of a quote-unquote bad play calling with this fucking roster at hell? Y'all want him to pass the ball 40 times to trash. He throwing the fucking ball to eliminate the kids who 5'8". You got a quarterback that can't even goddamn hiccup without goddamn fumbling the damn ball. And he's supposed to be a great play caller with that bullshit at quarterback. Man, get the fuck out of here, man. You motherfuckers won't even do nothing on Madden with Marcus Mariota outside of run the damn RPO, but you expect this man to sit up here and damn work wonders with Marcus Mariota. Man, get out of here. Just goofy shit. Just like, again, just goofy motherfuckers just making up shit because you are not getting what you wanted. The Falcons didn't do exactly what you wanted. And was I disappointed that the Falcons didn't get a defensive player? Of course. I definitely wanted Jalen. I wanted Jalen Carter. Not gonna lie. But I'm gonna sit up here and cry and make up fucking bullshit ass articles, write this bullshit, talking about he the worst head coach in one of the worst head coaches. Shut the fuck up, man. Shit, like I said, man, I wanted Jalen. Goddamn, I'm a dog fan. Shit, I wanted Jameer Bird too. Gibbs, damn, Jameer Bird, but Jameer Gibbs, I wanted Gibbs too. But we didn't get it. We got Bijan Robinson. And I roll with the punches. But I'm not out here making up fucking fantasies and shit. We got a bunch of fucking 5'8" wide receivers in here, and you expect this man to pass for 300 yards with that shit at fucking wide receiver. Man, y'all some clowns, bro. I dare any motherfucker, I dare any motherfucker to sit up here and prove to me with this roster and that coaching staff that Arthur Smith's supposed to pass the ball for more than 4,000 yards with that at fucking... Man, get out of here, man. And like I said, these are players that y'all won't even pick on your fantasy football league. But somehow Arthur Smith is supposed to make 4,000 yards out of this shit at Marcus Mariota at quarterback, a rookie quarterback that just now, like, he only seen 4 fucking games, and y'all expect him to pass for 4,000-5,000 yards in the damn season with this shit at the helm? You gotta be honest with yourself. Stop making up these bullshit. Stop trying to argue with people because they're telling you that you full of shit, because you are full of shit. If you think that Desmond really fucking sucks after 4 fucking games when he's improved every single game, you full of shit if you think Arthur Smith deserves to be fired because he's not winning fast enough for you. You're full of shit. Let me say it again. You are full of shit if you think that Desmond Ritter fucking sucks after 4 games. He's gotten better every game too. You're full of shit if you just think Arthur Smith is a fucking terrible head coach because he running the damn ball too much. I had a motherfucker tweet to me today talking about Arthur Smith is a bad head coach because this ain't 1995 where we don't run the ball 50 times. Let me say that again. I had a motherfucker tweet me today, said this ain't 1995 and we don't run the damn ball like that's in the NFL. When we literally had the San Francisco 49ers, and that's all they run the damn ball 40, 50 times a game. The Baltimore Ravens do the exact same thing. The Tennessee Titans do it the exact same thing. And somehow that also sucks when we literally have the best teams, the most successful teams in the league right now who run the ball and put a major emphasis on running the ball. Somehow that doesn't apply. Somehow the Falcons suck because Arthur doing the exact same thing that winning organizations are doing. Winning organizations doing the exact same thing, but somehow it's terrible when he do it. Like I said, I wanted Nolan. I wouldn't have been against that. And like I said, this is all about telling the truth. It's all about telling the truth. We got too many cowards hiding behind their opinions and they won't state facts. You got a lot of cowards hide behind their opinions as if they're facts and they won't do their fucking homework to back it up. We got too many cowards that's hiding behind all the other content creators. Y'all go on their show because y'all have a difference of opinion and they won't sit down and have a conversation with people. It's just a lot of cowards out here. And like I said, I'll sit down with anybody. Oh, the Panthers fans even know it. I done sat down and I done broke it down to them. Yeah, I done broke it all down to them. Yeah. Chemistry, patience, building the team, it matters. Every time a team jump to a conclusion and they want to hurry up and get that one player that's going to get us over the hump, that's when you see teams make mistakes. And this is what the Packers have been doing. This is what the Cowboys have been doing. This is what the Minnesota Vikings have been doing. They've been rushing. They've been rushing and think they're going to get that one special player that's going to get them over the hump, and that shit fails every time. Somehow the Falcons, if they get one quarterback, it's going to be. We done had two of the most electrifying quarterbacks in the history of the game, and that shit still ain't fair. But motherfucker can win a championship with fucking... you can win a championship with an old, broke-down Tom Brady. You can win a championship with a damn Trent Dilfer, a Brad Johnson, but we can't win with a Desmond Ritter. All right, I'm just saying. So with that being said, you got two words for you. Suck it. Nah, I'm just playing. But like I said, man, I appreciate everybody for joining. But yeah, cause that's the thing too. That's another thing. There are more first round failures than I can count. Most quarterbacks that have been drafted in the quarterback fail, and they fail miserably. Most quarterbacks that are drafted in the front have been and had a terrible career. Most of them. Almost 70% of the quarterbacks drafted in the first round have absolutely failed and bombed miserably. So, Maurice, I appreciate you. But like I said, I got all these written down. I got all these comments written down. As a matter of fact, I just screenshotted it. So we can talk about this. We're going to talk about this once again when we go through the stats, the facts, and the truth about all these quarterbacks that failed. Most of the first round picks that failed. But we supposed to just get rid of everything and all the head coaches for one player. Now get the fuck out of here. That's all I got to say about that. With that being said, appreciate you for joining us. This your boy, man, Mike. I'm out of here, man. Hit that subscribe button. Peace.